Welcome to Zoe Stories. Naughty Boy Punished. I never imagined one tiny mistake, one reckless, stupid act, would leave me standing in front of Isabella's mirror wearing her lingerie, her lipstick, her heels, trembling like a naughty boy waiting for punishment. My name is Ethan, and on the outside, I'm the kind of guy people describe as polite, quiet, and well-behaved. But inside? Inside lives a secret I've buried for years. A secret I've never shared. A secret that could destroy everything. I crossdress. Not as a hobby. Not as a joke. But because something deep inside me wakes up when I slip into silk and lace. Something forbidden. Something I don't fully understand, and definitely don't know how to control. And the one person who must never find out? Isabella. My strong, commanding, no-nonsense girlfriend. If she saw me like this, God help me. By day, I work a simple retail job. Folding clothes. Scanning items. Smiling at strangers. But the moment I step home, the moment the door closes, my real life begins. Crossdressing isn't fun for me. It's an escape. A world where I can breathe. A world where everything forbidden feels thrillingly right. When Isabella isn't home, her apartment becomes a playground of temptation. Her high heels. Her tight dresses. Her expensive lipstick. Her perfume lingering in the air. Every item whispers the same dangerous invitation. Wear me. And today, despite knowing I shouldn't, despite knowing Isabella might return early, I answered that whisper. I opened the drawer Isabella told me never to touch. The one she warned me about. The one she said was off limits. Inside? Black silk lingerie. Soft lace. Perfect. Seductive. Dangerous. I froze. My heartbeat thundered. My hands shook. I knew if Isabella found out I touched this, there would be consequences. But the thrill was too much. The fear made it sweeter. I reached in. My fingers sank into the lace. And in that moment, I wasn't scared. I was alive. There's a reason I panic at the thought of her catching me. Isabella isn't cruel. She isn't abusive. But she is strict. She values honesty, obedience, control. And I break the rules, constantly. Last month, she caught me using her makeup. She didn't yell. She didn't argue. She simply looked at me with those dark eyes and said, "Good boys don't lie, Ethan." That sentence rearranged my brain. It rewired me. I didn't understand why, but something about it made me feel small, exposed, guilty, seen. And today? Today I was breaking the rules again. I slipped the lingerie on. It clung perfectly to my skin. Too perfectly. A wave of electricity swept across my body. I grabbed Isabella's crimson lipstick, the one she only wears on special occasions, and began applying it slowly. Stroke. Pause. Breath. Beat. Every movement felt like a sin. When I looked into the mirror, I didn't see Ethan. I saw someone softer, prettier, scared, excited, wrong, but so desperately right. The mirror whispered to me, "How far will you go today?" And my body answered before my mind could stop it. The apartment felt unusually quiet. Too quiet. The ticking clock was a countdown to disaster. The humming fridge sounded like a warning siren. One wrong move, 1 second too long, one unexpected step. And Isabella would walk in to find her boyfriend, her good boy, standing in her lingerie and lipstick. Her disappointment alone would break me. Her anger would destroy me. Her punishment. God, I didn't even want to imagine it. Still, I didn't stop. I added mascara. A thin line of eyeliner. A touch of blush. With every stroke, I crossed another line. I wasn't just dressing up. I was becoming my secret self. Our cozy space, usually warm and safe, now felt like a trap. Every window was a threat. Every light reflection a betrayal. Every shadow a danger. I took a step in Isabella's heels. Click. 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 Each sound echoed through the hallway like a confession. Isabella once told me, "If you ever betray my trust, Ethan, the punishment will be unforgettable." Those words replayed in my head. And here I was, betraying her trust in the most shocking way possible. I froze. Not because I wanted to. Because I had to. The front door handle moved. A metallic click. A soft rattle. My breath vanished. My heartbeat stopped. My entire world collapsed. No, 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 no. She wasn't supposed to be back. Not yet. Not now. The door handle moved again. More forcefully this time. A shadow appeared under the door. Long. Unmistakable. Human. My knees weakened. Someone was outside. Someone was about to come in. If it was Isabella, I was dead. Completely exposed. Half-dressed in her lingerie. Lipstick smeared. Heels wobbling. I didn't even have time to run. The door shook once more. And then, a key slid into the lock. The moment I heard the key slide into the lock, I realized there are two types of fear in this world, the fear of being caught, and the fear of being seen exactly as you are. And I was about to face both. My legs felt numb inside Isabella's heels. My throat tightened. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. The key twisted. Click. My heart dropped to my stomach. I had seconds, just seconds, to react. But I was frozen. A trapped animal in silk lingerie and crimson lipstick. Instinct kicked in too late. I tried to move, run, hide, anything. But the heels slipped on the wooden floor. I stumbled, grabbing the wall before I fell. My lipstick smudged on my wrist. My hair, still my hair, hung over my eyes, making everything blurrier, scarier. I wanted to scream. But no sound came out. All I managed was a whisper. "Please, not now." The door cracked open. Just an inch. Barely enough to see anything. But enough for me to hear the footsteps outside. Slow. Deliberate. Heavy. Not Isabella's heels. Not her light footsteps. This was someone else. Someone unfamiliar. Someone who wasn't supposed to be here. Every horror scenario exploded into my mind. A neighbor? A maintenance man? Her cousin? Dear God, her mother? If any of them saw me like this, there wouldn't be punishment. There would be ruin. My life would be over. Everything inside me screamed. Hide. Hide. Hide now. But where? The apartment was too open. Too bright. Too exposed. My breath came in fast, sharp bursts. My shaking hands grabbed the closest thing, Isabella's silk robe from the couch. I threw it around myself, tying it as fast as I could. Even then, the lace lingerie peeked through like a crime I couldn't hide. I wiped my lipstick smudge with trembling fingers, only making it worse. I looked like a guilty boy caught in the middle of a sin. The door stopped moving. The key went still. Whoever was outside wasn't entering. They were waiting. Listening. Maybe they heard me. Maybe they sensed me. Maybe they were deciding whether to walk in or walk away. The silence became unbearable. I held my breath. 10 seconds. 20. 30. The longest minute of my life. Then, a soft click. The key slowly slid back out of the lock. Whoever it was, left. Just like that. Footsteps faded in the hallway. Stillness returned. But the silence wasn't comforting this time. It was terrifying. Because one thing was clear. Someone tried to come in using a key. A key only Isabella has. Unless she gave it to someone. I pressed my back to the wall, shaking uncontrollably. Did Isabella send someone to check on me? Did she suspect something? Did she already know about my secret? No. Impossible. She couldn't. Could she? I replayed the past week in my head. The way she studied me sometimes. The questions she asked. The way she double-checked her makeup drawer 2 nights ago. A chill ran through me. Had she noticed something missing? Something moved? Something touched? Had she set me up? I walked backward, heels clicking despite my attempt to stay silent. Every step felt like a countdown. Every creak made my nerves crack. I reached the living room, heart thundering. The fairy lights flickered softly, mocking me with their calmness. Isabella's perfume lingered in the air like a ghost. I felt her presence even though she wasn't here. Or, was she? What if the person at the door was Isabella? What if she saw me through the crack? Saw the heels? Saw the robe? Saw the lipstick? My stomach twisted. Maybe she didn't enter because she was shocked. Processing. Planning. Planning what though? Punishment? Confrontation? Revenge? My phone lit up suddenly. A message. From Isabella. My entire body locked. My fingers trembled as I reached for the phone. The message preview alone made my blood turn to ice. Isabella, what are you doing right now? My knees buckled. No one asks that question randomly. Not with that timing. Not with that tone. She knew. She had to know. I swallowed hard, trying to breathe. My thumb hovered over the screen. What should I say? The truth? A lie? Nothing? My mind screamed. Do not reply. Not yet. Think. I turned the phone over so the screen faced down. Out of sight. Out of mind. If I looked at it again, I would break. I stumbled back to the mirror. My reflection was a disaster. Lipstick smudged. Eyeliner uneven. Mascara slightly smeared from panic tears. Lingerie strap slipping off my shoulder. Silk robe hanging open. I didn't look sexy. I looked caught. Exposed. A guilty boy in women's clothes. I tried wiping the makeup off quickly but only made it worse. Red stains spread across my cheeks. Mascara streaks dragged down like black tears. The robe slipped again. I cursed under my breath. Why did I do this today? Why did I take the risk? But I knew. Because I couldn't resist. Because the temptation swallowed me. Because the secret part of me wanted this, more than anything. Even if the consequences destroyed me. Just as I started to calm down, the front door made another sound. Not a handle turn. Not a knock. A soft tap. Like someone testing it. Like someone making sure it was locked. My body snapped upright. My chest tightened. My vision blurred. Because if someone was still there, still outside, still checking, then they weren't done with me. This wasn't over. Not even close. I stood completely still, heart pounding so hard I swore the whole apartment could hear it. Who was outside? Why did they try to enter? And most terrifying of all, did Isabella already know what I was doing inside? The silence returned. The danger grew. And I realized something horrifying. This wasn't the beginning of my punishment. It was just the warning. I kept staring at myself in the mirror, breath shaky, hands trembling. The dress hugged me too perfectly. Like it had been waiting for me. But that wasn't what scared me. What scared me was that I didn't hate what I saw. That realization hit me harder than Isabella's anger ever could. A dangerous thought whispered in the back of my mind. What if this is actually who you are? I shut my eyes, shaking my head violently. No. I couldn't think like that. I wasn't supposed to enjoy this. But my heart had already betrayed me. Another notification buzzed on my phone. I froze. Was it Isabella? Did she find out something? Did someone see me? My hands shook as I picked up the phone. It wasn't her. It was worse. A message from an unknown number. You look beautiful. Keep going. My blood turned cold. My heart slammed against my chest. Someone was watching me. Someone knew. Someone had seen everything. My mind started racing. Was there a hidden camera in the room? Was someone spying on me? Was it a hacker? A stalker? A stranger? Or was it? No. I refused to even consider it. I swallowed hard and typed quickly. Who are you? What do you want? 3 dots appeared. Someone was typing. My breath caught. Then the reply came. Don't stop. You're not done transforming. I stumbled back, nearly tripping over the hem of the dress. Transforming? My skin went cold. What did they mean? Before I could respond, another message arrived. Be a good girl. Do exactly what I say, or she finds out the truth. My worst nightmare slammed into me with full force. They knew Isabella. They knew the threat. They knew exactly what would break me. My chest tightened so painfully it almost made me collapse. The mirror reflected my fear. But it also reflected something else. A version of me I didn't recognize. A version I wasn't ready to face. But whoever was texting me, they wanted her. And they weren't going to stop. I didn't know what was louder. My heartbeat. Or the sound of Isabella's footsteps coming closer. While the stranger's voice whispered through the phone. If you stop now, she'll see everything. My whole body froze. I wasn't breathing. I wasn't thinking. I was trapped between two disasters. The girl I loved outside the door. And the person I was turning into inside the mirror. The room felt too small, too bright, too tight. The dress clung to me, reminding me of every secret I should have buried deeper. Then the stranger sent another message. Sit. Put on the lipstick. Slowly. My hands shook as I grabbed the bright red tube. The color was bold, dangerous. A color meant for a woman who knew exactly what she wanted. Not me. Not the boy I used to be. But the voice on the phone didn't care who I used to be. They only cared about who they were forcing me to become. I brought the lipstick closer. My reflection trembled with me. My mind screamed. Stop. Don't do it. Isabella will kill you. She'll never forgive you. But my body moved anyway. I painted my lips in slow, terrified strokes. The red bloomed across my mouth like a confession I could never take back. Another message flashed. Good girl. I nearly dropped the phone. A sudden, loud knock made me jump. Hey, are you okay in there? Isabella's voice. No. No, no, no. This couldn't be happening. Not now. Not like this. I tried to speak. But nothing came out. You're acting weird, she continued. Open the door. My throat closed. The stranger's voice hissed in my ear. If you open that door looking like this, she'll never trust you again. Panic surged through my chest like fire. I whispered, what do you want from me? The stranger laughed softly. Everything. The words sliced through me like a blade. I backed away from the door, shaking uncontrollably. My phone buzzed again. Turn around. Look at yourself. I did. And for the first time, I didn't see a mistake. I saw something worse. I saw the girl they were creating. The girl I couldn't deny anymore. The girl I was terrified I might actually become. Isabella knocked again, harder this time. Why is the door locked? What are you hiding? Tears burned my eyes. I wasn't ready for this. I wasn't ready for her to see me like this. I wasn't ready for me to see me like this. But everything was spiraling too fast. The stranger sent one more message. Say one word to her. And I send her the video. Everything inside me shattered. There was a video. A real one. They had recorded me. Dressing. Posing. Breaking. My stomach dropped so violently I almost collapsed. I was trapped. Completely. Totally. Helplessly. Isabella's final knock came like a warning. Last time, open this door. My heart stopped. The phone buzzed. Choose. Obey me. Or lose her forever. I stood inches from the door. Lipstick trembling, breath shaking. My entire life held hostage by a stranger's fingertip. And for the first time, I realized this wasn't just a game. This was the moment I would break. I never thought a single message could hold so much power. Until I realized the stranger on the other side wasn't just watching me. They were inside my life. Inside my apartment. And they knew everything. My hands shook violently as I held the phone, the red lipstick glaring in the mirror like a warning. Every instinct screamed, hide, run, erase, vanish. But my body refused to obey. Then I heard it, a soft click behind me. I froze. Not the door. Not the front entrance. It was the closet. Someone had been inside. All along. Watching me put on the dress. Watching me struggle in the heels. Laughing as my reflection screamed at me. "You're a naughty boy. And now you're trapped." I spun toward the closet, heart hammering. Nothing. Empty. Or so I thought. Then the phone buzzed again. "Don't turn around, or you'll regret it." I didn't listen. I never do. A shadow moved behind the curtain. My stomach dropped. The hair on my arms stood on end. And then, the voice. Soft. Taunting. Familiar. "Enjoying the new you, Ethan?" I froze mid-breath. The stranger. Was Isabella. No. That couldn't be. Impossible. But the voice, the tone. It was hers. My brain couldn't process. Was she here? Had she been testing me? Was this a cruel punishment? Or something else entirely? The messages continued. "I've seen everything. Every move. Every touch. And now, you'll finish what you started." I stumbled back, clutching the robe, realizing the trap wasn't about exposure. It was about control. She, or whoever it was turning me into the perfect version of what I'd been hiding. The version I had only dared dream of behind closed doors. And now, there was no escaping. Every line of red lipstick, every swish of the dress, every step in the heels. It wasn't just me. It was her plan. Her punishment. Her experiment. I sank to the floor. The heels dug painfully into my feet. The silk robe clung uncomfortably. Tears burned my eyes. "Why are you doing this?" I whispered into the silence. No answer. Only my reflection. The reflection of a girl I didn't recognize. The reflection of a naughty boy who had been caught, cornered, and stripped of all control. I tried to stand. The weight of the robe, the heels, the makeup, everything, pulled me down. I realized. I couldn't escape the transformation. Even if Isabella, or whoever this was, left, I was already changed. The phone buzzed violently. Not a message. A call. I froze. Should I answer? Could I answer? The screen lit up. Isabella. My breath caught. The stranger. The real Isabella. Everything collided. I hesitated. Then, trembling, I swiped to answer. Her voice came through, soft but sharp. "Ethan. I see you. And now, it's time to decide." My heart stopped. Every instinct screamed. Run. Hide. Deny. Lie. But another voice echoed in my mind. "You've wanted this. Haven't you?" The mirror reflected my fear. And something else. Something forbidden. Something thrilling. Before I could respond, a knock at the door startled me. Louder. Harder. Insistent. Isabella? The stranger? Both? My phone slipped from my hand. Heels clacked against the floor as I tried to steady myself. The robe slipped slightly, revealing lace. Red lipstick smeared. And in that perfect moment, I realized. I was trapped. Completely. No way out. No way back. And someone was about to see me like this. The door handle rattled violently. The phone buzzed again. My reflection stared back at me, daring me to move. I knew one thing. This was it. The moment where the naughty boy was punished. And the transformation could no longer be undone. I swallowed hard, my lips trembling. And then the door opened. The door didn't just open. It exploded into my world like a bullet through glass. And for one horrifying second, the whole universe froze. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't blink. I couldn't hide. Because someone stood in the doorway. And they saw everything. Not Isabella. Not a stranger. Not a neighbor. It was worse. It was her cousin, Maria. Maria. The one who never liked me. The one who always thought I was too soft. The one who said Isabella deserved a real man. Her eyes widened. Her jaw dropped. Her voice didn't come out as words. It escaped as a gasp sharp enough to slice light. I scrambled backwards, slipping in the heels, almost falling. The red lipstick. The lace. The robe. The wig half bent. All of it. She saw everything. For a moment, she didn't move. Then, she smiled. A slow, eerie smile. The kind that makes your blood run cold. Well, well, well. Isabella was right. My heart launched into my throat. My mind shattered into 1,000 pieces. Isabella was right? About what? About me? About this? I stammered, Maria, wait, it's not, I can explain, please don't. But she lifted a hand sharply. Don't bother. She told me the truth already. My legs nearly buckled. The truth? What truth? How much did Isabella know? How long had she known? I felt sick. The phone buzzed on the floor. Maria's eyes flicked to it. She didn't pick it up, she just smirked. You thought you were hiding this? She's been watching you for weeks. My head spun. Isabella had known? The messages? The videos? The voice? Was it her? Maria stepped closer, heels echoing sharp taps on the wooden floor. Do you know what she told me? I shook my head helplessly. She leaned in, voice cold as ice. She said you needed to be taught a lesson. A punishment. She said you were a naughty boy. Everything inside me collapsed. The words I heard through the phone. The exact same tone. The same phrase. My breath hitched. Maria straightened up like she enjoyed watching me break. She said you'd never learn unless someone pushed you. Someone pushed me? Someone? Or some two? My pulse hammered so hard it hurt. They've been doing this to me? I whispered. Together. Maria laughed softly. Oh honey, you have no idea. Suddenly, Maria grabbed my chin, forcing me to look at my reflection. Her grip was firm, dominant, like she was reminding me who had control now. Look at you, she said. Look at the girl you're becoming. My breath trembled. The reflection stared back. Lipstick smeared, hair messy, eyes wide with fear and something darker. Fear. Humiliation. Thrill. I hated that last part the most. Maria noticed. You like this, don't you? No, She didn't let me finish. Her finger wiped a tear from my cheek. You think I can't tell? You're scared, but you're excited too. I shook my head, but she leaned even closer. You want Isabella to see this? No. You want her to see the real you. My knees nearly collapsed. Because deep down, buried under layers of denial, shame, fear, there was a small, trembling truth. A truth I didn't want to admit. A truth they had found. Maria stepped back. Her eyes were sharp, assessing. Isabella's on her way. My blood turned to ice. What? No, Maria, please, don't let her see me like this, please. Too late. Maria folded her arms, watching me panic. You should have thought about that before sneaking around behind her back. What are you talking about? I asked desperately. She tilted her head. She thinks you're cheating. My world imploded. Cheating? With who? Maria shrugged casually. Doesn't matter. She saw the secretive behavior. The hiding. The lying. The late-night bathroom trips. I felt the floor tilt beneath me. No. No, no, no. Maria smirked. She doesn't know it's about this. I grabbed her arm. Maria, please, don't let her see me, please, just give me one chance to explain. But Maria shook her head. You want help? Then do exactly what I say. My heart thudded. What do you want? She leaned in. Close enough that her breath brushed my cheek. Then she whispered. Finish the transformation. My stomach dropped. What? Maria's smile grew dangerous. Isabella needs to see the full picture. I felt like the world was collapsing. But I can't, she'll leave me, she'll hate me, she'll. Maria pressed a finger to my lips. She'll know who you really are. A car door slammed outside. Maria's eyes lit up. She's here. My lungs stopped working. Maria grabbed my shoulders. If you want one chance, to survive this, you're going to become the girl you were hiding. Footsteps approached. Keys jingled. The front door unlocked. My heart exploded in panic. This was it. No escape. No time. No lies left. Isabella was about to walk in and see me transformed. Completely. Utterly. Perfectly. The front door creaked open. Slow, deliberate, intentional. Like someone stepping into a crime scene they already knew the ending of. And I realized something terrifying. I wasn't afraid of Isabella opening the door. I was afraid of her seeing who I really was. Her heels clicked against the hallway tile. One step. Then another. Each one heavier than the last. My breath shattered inside my chest. Maria stood behind me, arms crossed, watching the scene unfold like she'd been waiting for this moment her entire life. I could barely stand. Red lipstick smeared. Wig crooked. Lace peeking through the robe. Heels shaking under my weight. I wasn't ready. Not for this. Not for her. Not for the truth. Isabella stepped into the doorway, her eyes searching, until they landed on me. And her entire face changed. Shock. Confusion. Hurt. Then, something else. Something I couldn't read. The silence stretched tight like a wire ready to snap. Ethan. Her voice was soft, but the softness hurt more than anger. I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. My throat closed. My knees shook. I wanted to run, hide, disappear. Maria stepped forward. Of course she did. He wasn't cheating on you, she said calmly. This is your big secret. Isabella's eyes widened. Her gaze dragged down my body. The dress. The makeup. The wig. The trembling. I felt naked. Exposed. Defeated. My voice cracked as I whispered. Isabella. I can explain. She shook her head. Why didn't you tell me? Her voice wasn't angry. It was wounded. And that made it worse. I was scared, I choked out. I thought you'd leave me, think I'm disgusting, think I'm... My voice broke completely. Isabella didn't move. Didn't blink. Just stared. Like she'd been hit by a storm and didn't know how to stand in the rain. Maria stepped beside her and whispered loudly. Told you he was hiding something. Then she turned to me, smirking. See? This is what happens when you play dress-up behind people's backs. Maria, stop, I begged. Please. You've done enough. But she wasn't done. Of course she wasn't. Hey Isabella, want to know the best part? Maria pointed at me dramatically. He wasn't forced. He likes this. Isabella's eyes snapped to mine. My heart exploded with shame. Because she wasn't wrong. Not completely. Not anymore. She took one slow step toward me. Then another. I braced myself. For anger. For yelling. For the breakup. For the end. But instead, she reached out and touched my cheek gently. The same cheek smeared with her lipstick. I flinched. She whispered. Why didn't you trust me? A tear rolled down my face. I didn't know how, I whispered. I didn't understand it myself. I still don't. Her eyes softened. Painful. Understanding. Conflicted. I thought you were cheating, she admitted. I thought you didn't love me anymore. I shook my head violently. I love you more than anything. I was just scared. Confused. Lost. My voice cracked. Please don't leave me. Maria stepped between us. Isabella, don't fall for this, she said sharply. He's been lying to you for months. He's been hiding this. This. She gestured at me like I was some kind of broken toy. Behind your back. Isabella frowned. Maria, stop. But Maria kept going, louder, harsher, like she wanted blood. He needs help, I say. Not sympathy. He needs to be fixed before this goes too far. That word, fixed, broke something inside me. Isabella turned to her sharply. Maria. Enough. But Maria wasn't done. She stepped closer to me. Close enough that her breath brushed my face. You're not a girl, Ethan. You're not cute. You're not beautiful. Each word stabbed deeper. Then the final cut. You're a pathetic boy in a dress. Before I could collapse, Isabella snapped. Stop talking. Her voice boomed through the apartment. Maria froze. So did I. So did the world. Isabella stepped between us, shielding me physically. Then she said the last thing Maria expected. You don't get to decide who he is. Maria's jaw dropped. So you're just okay with this? Isabella turned, looked at me, really looked at me. Fearful. Broken. Bare. Exposed. But also, me. Then she whispered. I don't know yet. My heart cracked. She continued. But I'm not letting you bully him. I love him. And this is between us. Maria scoffed. You'll regret this. Then she stormed out, slamming the door so hard the walls shook. Silence swallowed the room. Isabella stood there, breathing hard. I stood there, shaking. Slowly, she turned toward me. Her voice barely above a whisper. Ethan, I need you to tell me everything. My heart stopped. My world spun. Because this moment, this conversation, this truth, would decide if I kept her, or lost her forever. I should have felt relieved. I should have felt free. But instead, the moment I stepped out of that room, heels clicking like they had always belonged to me, a strange heaviness settled in my chest. People stared. Not with shock. Not with confusion. But with recognition. Like they already knew me. Like they had seen me before. Like I wasn't stepping into a new life, but returning to one. As I walked, every pair of eyes felt like hands, pulling at the new version of me. I tried to ignore it, tried to keep my breathing steady, but something inside me whispered. This isn't over. This isn't even close to over. And then, I heard it. A voice behind me. Calm. Confident. Almost amused. Going somewhere? I froze. My blood turned to ice. My legs trembled so hard I nearly fell. Because I recognized that voice. I had heard it once before. When this nightmare began. Slowly, terrified, I turned around. And there he was. The one who dared me. The one who ruined my life. The one who transformed me. He leaned against the wall like he owned the entire hallway, like he owned me, arms crossed, eyes clearly enjoying my panic. He smiled. Not kindly. Not cruelly. But knowingly. You didn't think I'd let you run away just because you look like this now, did you? My heartbeat crashed into my ribs. How did you? Oh, I've been watching, he interrupted softly. Every step. Every change. Every moment you thought you were free. My throat closed up. He took a step closer. I took a step back. The hallway felt smaller. Narrower. Like it was folding around me. You look perfect, he said, voice low and satisfied. Better than I planned. Better than I dreamed. I wanted to scream at him. I wanted to demand answers. I wanted to run. But instead, all I managed was a whisper. Why me? His smile widened. That answer, he said as he reached out, lightly lifting my chin with his fingers, comes next. My knees nearly buckled. And trust me, he added, leaning in so close his breath brushed my cheek, you're not ready for it. Before I could react, he stepped past me. Walked away. Didn't look back. But his final words echoed through the empty hallway like a threat, like a prophecy. Tomorrow. Everything changes. The lights flickered. My heart dropped. Because deep down, I already knew. Tomorrow wasn't going to be the end. Tomorrow was going to be the beginning of the real nightmare. I barely slept that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I heard his voice again. Tomorrow. Everything changes. What did that mean? What more could he take from me? Wasn't I already trapped in this body? This appearance? This life I never asked for? I stared at my reflection for hours. The girl in the mirror looked terrified. Not because she was weak, but because she knew. None of this was accidental. Something bigger was happening. Something he hadn't told me yet. Something he wanted me to walk into. By the time morning came, my hands were shaking. I grabbed my phone from the nightstand. Maybe Delilah texted. Maybe there was a way out. Maybe someone cared enough to check on me. One new message. From an unknown number. My stomach knotted. I opened it. And instantly felt the blood drain from my face. It wasn't a text. It was a video. A video of me. Dressed in the outfit he forced me to wear. Smiling. Laughing. Twisting a lock of hair around my finger like a perfect feminine tease. But the worst part wasn't the video. It was the timestamp. It was recorded last night. While I slept. While I thought I was alone. While I thought I was safe. My breath caught in my throat. Then the screen flashed again. New message, check your closet. My heart hammered so violently I thought it might burst. I forced my shaking legs to move. Every step felt heavier, slower, like the air was resisting me. I reached the closet door. Paused. Took a trembling breath. And opened it. Inside. Not just clothes. Not just dresses. Not just skirts. But a full wardrobe. Brand new. Perfectly my size. All feminine. All expensive. All carefully, obsessively chosen for me. And on the top shelf, resting neatly like a crown, was a small velvet box. I didn't want to open it. I didn't even want to touch it. But my hand moved on its own. Inside the box was a necklace. A delicate gold chain. With a single charm. His initial. His mark. His claim. Before I could even react, my phone buzzed again. A final message. Wear it. You belong to this life now. My knees buckled. My mind screamed to run. But my body. My new reflection. The clothes filling the closet. The perfume lingering in the air. It all whispered the same terrifying truth. This wasn't a dare anymore. This was possession. This was control. This was a plan that started long before I realized. And I was already too deep to escape. I stood frozen with the necklace in my hand, its gold surface gleaming like a threat. I didn't know what to do. Call someone? Hide? Scream? Nothing made sense. I backed away from the closet like it was alive. Like it might swallow me whole. Then, knock, knock, knock. My entire body turned to ice. No one ever came to my apartment this early. No one should have known I was awake. No one should have. Knock, knock, knock. Harder this time. More impatient. Like whoever was behind the door already knew I was standing there, paralyzed. My breath hitched. Who's there? I whispered. Silence. Dead, suffocating silence. I took a single step forward. The floor creaked. And from behind the door, a voice. Soft. Male. Familiar. Too familiar. You're not wearing the necklace. My heart stopped. How did he know? How was he watching me? I stepped back. 1 step. 2 steps. The voice came again. Open the door. I couldn't. My legs wouldn't move. Open the door, he repeated, calm but cold. I'm not here to hurt you. A lie. I felt it. Every word from him was a lie wrapped in a command. I turned and looked at the mirror across the room. The girl staring back looked helpless. Terrified. Owned. Another knock. Not violent. Not rushed. Slow. Rhythmic. Like he was enjoying my fear. You've grown into this life so beautifully, he said. Don't ruin it now. I swallowed hard. Then, my phone buzzed in my hand. A text. From the same unknown number. I forced myself to look. The message was only 2 words. Behind you. I froze. My lungs stopped working. I didn't turn. I couldn't turn. I didn't want to see. I didn't want to know. I didn't want to. But my body moved anyway. Slowly. Mechanically. Like I wasn't in control anymore. I turned my head. Just a little. and saw a shadow moving across my living room wall. Someone was inside the apartment. Someone had been there the whole time. Someone who didn't need to knock. Someone who didn't need permission. The voice at the door wasn't the threat. The threat was already in the room with me. My mouth opened but no sound came out. Then a whisper brushed the back of my neck. "Put on the necklace, or I'll put it on for you." My knees buckled. I didn't dare move. That whisper, so close it felt like the breath slid down my spine, froze every muscle in my body. Slowly, painfully, I turned my head. Just enough to see him. A figure stepped out from behind the kitchen doorway. Not rushing. Not hiding anymore. He moved with the calm confidence of someone who had been watching me for a long, long time. Tall. Dark jacket. A face half covered by the dim light of my apartment. But the part one could see. My blood ran cold. A smirk. Not wide, not exaggerated. Just enough to say, "I own every second of your fear." He raised a hand. Not with a weapon. Not with force. He was holding something small. A phone. My phone. The backup phone I used only for emergencies. The one that had suddenly gone missing a week ago. He tossed it lightly in the air and caught it. "You're in my house," I whispered, choking on the words. "In your house?" He repeated, amused. "Oh no, sweetheart. You've misunderstood everything." He took a step closer. My back hit the wall. "There is no you're in this life anymore," he said. "You live in the world I built for you. A world where you wear what I decide. Say what I want. Be who I choose." He pointed to the necklace still trembling in my hand. "That," he said softly, "is not jewelry." His eyes burned through me. "That's a promise." I shook my head, my breath sharp and shaky. "No. I don't know you. I don't know what you want." He took another step forward. "You know me better than you think." Another step. "I've watched you try on her heels." Another. "Her dresses." Another. "Her makeup." Another. "Every night you thought you were alone," he whispered. "You weren't." My stomach twisted violently. The room felt smaller. Tighter. Like the walls were closing in. I forced myself to speak. "Why me?" His smile widened just a fraction. "Because Isabella asked me to." The world stopped moving. My ears rang. My heart almost burst through my chest. Isabella? My girlfriend. The woman I trusted. The woman I loved. The woman who wasn't even supposed to be home tonight. "Liar," I breathed. "She wouldn't. She would never." He interrupted me by raising a hand and pressing a button on my phone. A video started playing. Isabella's voice filled the room. Her voice. Warm. Soft. Familiar. "I want him to learn his place," she said in the recording. "I want him to understand what he did." Pause. "And I want him punished." My vision blurred. The walls spun around me. My hand loosened. The necklace hit the floor with a quiet, metallic clink. Behind me, the man's voice lowered to a terrifying whisper. "Pick it up." I didn't move. "Pick it up." Still, my body refused. Then, he leaned close to my ear and delivered the sentence that shattered the ground beneath my feet. "She'll be here in 5 minutes. And she wants to see you wearing it." Next, Isabella arrives. And the truth hits like a knife. 5 minutes. I stared at the necklace on the floor like it was a bomb. He stepped closer, his shadow swallowing mine. "You have 2 choices," he murmured. "Put it on yourself. Or let her put it on you." My throat tightened. Isabella's voice from the recording still echoed in my head. "I want him punished." Punished for what? For what mistake? For what secret? The man watched me unravel. Calm, entertained, patient. Then, click. The front door. The lock turning. My blood froze. She was here. I panicked, scrambling backward, but there was nowhere to go. The man stayed perfectly still, as if he'd been waiting for this moment all night. The door swung open. Light from the hallway spilled into the room. Isabella stepped inside. My Isabella. Her eyes scanned the apartment like she already knew something was happening. Her gaze landed on me. Then on the man. Then on the necklace at my feet. And something in her expression changed. Not surprise. Not fear. Something worse. Possession. She walked inside slowly, closing the door behind her, heels tapping softly, stepping deeper into my nightmare with practiced familiarity. "Hello, baby," she said. Her voice wasn't the warm, sweet tone I knew. It was controlled. Steady. Sharp. Like she'd rehearsed this moment. My mouth went dry. "Isabella, please, listen. I don't know what's happening." "Oh, you know." She nodded toward the necklace. "You just don't want to admit it." Then she turned to the man. "Did he cooperate?" "Not yet," he replied. "But he will." She hummed, like that was exactly what she expected. Then she stepped closer to me. Her hands reached up, slowly, gently, cupping my face. She looked into my eyes with an intimacy that hurt. "You couldn't behave," she said softly. "You couldn't stay faithful. You couldn't stop lying." My heart stopped. "Faithful?" I whispered. "I never cheated." She cut me off with a cold smile. "Oh, you didn't cheat." She leaned in close enough that her breath warmed my cheek. "But you lied about something else, didn't you?" My stomach dropped. No. She couldn't know that. She couldn't. Her eyes turned sharp, slicing right through my denial. "You lied about the clothes," she whispered. "You lied about the makeup. You lied about trying to hide that other side of you." Isabella, I was scared to tell you." "And instead of trusting me," she said, her voice lowering, "you hid it." She stepped back and nodded at the man. "The necklace." He picked it up from the floor and handed it to her. She held it delicately between her fingers and smiled at me. A smile that felt like the edge of a blade. "You will wear this," she said. "Tonight. Right now." I shook my head desperately. "Please no, just talk to me." She leaned in again. "No more talking." Her fingers reached toward my neck. I flinched back, instinctively. Her expression changed instantly. Her smile faded. Her eyes sharpened. A cold, dangerous silence filled the room. The man took a step forward, ready to grab me. But Isabella raised a hand. "Stop," she said. "He should put it on himself." The man stepped back. She stared at me, unblinking. "Pick it up," she whispered. "Put it on. Or you won't like the alternative." My hand trembled as it rose. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want any of this. But her voice. Her eyes. That man behind her. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. My fingers brushed the necklace. I lifted it. Slowly. Painfully. And as the cold chain touched my skin, Isabella whispered the sentence that shattered everything I thought I knew. "Good. Now we can begin your real punishment." Next, Isabella arrives. And the truth hits like a knife. 5 minutes. I stared at the necklace on the floor like it was a bomb. He stepped closer, his shadow swallowing mine. "You have 2 choices," he murmured. "Put it on yourself. Or let her put it on you." My throat tightened. Isabella's voice from the recording still echoed in my head. "I want him punished." Punished for what? For what mistake? For what secret? The man watched me unravel. Calm, entertained, patient. Then, click. The front door. The lock turning. My blood froze. She was here. I panicked, scrambling backward, but there was nowhere to go. The man stayed perfectly still, as if he'd been waiting for this moment all night. The door swung open. Light from the hallway spilled into the room. Isabella stepped inside. My Isabella. Her eyes scanned the apartment like she already knew something was happening. Her gaze landed on me. Then on the man. Then on the necklace at my feet. And something in her expression changed. Not surprise. Not fear. Something worse. Possession. She walked inside slowly, closing the door behind her, heels tapping softly, stepping deeper into my nightmare with practiced familiarity. "Hello, baby," she said. Her voice wasn't the warm, sweet tone I knew. It was controlled, steady, sharp, like she'd rehearsed this moment. My mouth went dry. "Isabella, please, listen, I don't know what's happening." "Oh, you know." She nodded toward the necklace. "You just don't want to admit it." Then she turned to the man. "Did he cooperate?" "Not yet," he replied. "But he will." She hummed, like that was exactly what she expected. Then she stepped closer to me. Her hands reached up, slowly, gently, cupping my face. She looked into my eyes with an intimacy that hurt. "You couldn't behave," she said softly. "You couldn't stay faithful. You couldn't stop lying." My heart stopped. "Faithful?" I whispered. "I never cheated." She cut me off with a cold smile. "Oh, you didn't cheat." She leaned in close enough that her breath warmed my cheek. "But you lied about something else, didn't you?" My stomach dropped. No. She couldn't know that. She couldn't. Her eyes turned sharp, slicing right through my denial. "You lied about the clothes," she whispered. "You lied about the makeup. You lied about trying to hide that other side of you." Isabella, I was scared to tell you." "And instead of trusting me," she said, her voice lowering, "you hid it." She stepped back and nodded at the man. "The necklace." He picked it up from the floor and handed it to her. She held it delicately between her fingers and smiled at me. A smile that felt like the edge of a blade. "You will wear this," she said. "Tonight. Right now." I shook my head desperately. "Please no, just talk to me." She leaned in again. "No more talking." Her fingers reached toward my neck. I flinched back, instinctively. Her expression changed instantly. Her smile faded. Her eyes sharpened. A cold, dangerous silence filled the room. The man took a step forward, ready to grab me. But Isabella raised a hand. "Stop," she said. "He should put it on himself." The man stepped back. She stared at me, unblinking. "Pick it up," she whispered. "Put it on. Or you won't like the alternative." My hand trembled as it rose. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want any of this. But her voice. Her eyes. That man behind her. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. My fingers brushed the necklace. I lifted it. Slowly. Painfully. And as the cold chain touched my skin, Isabella whispered the sentence that shattered everything I thought I knew. "Good. Now we can begin your real punishment." My heart slammed against my ribs. "Permanently?" The word echoed in my skull, making the room tilt. Isabella set the heels on the floor deliberately, like she was placing evidence in front of a criminal. "Put them on," she said. The man crossed his arms, blocking the door. No escape. No way out. I stared at the heels. They were beautiful. Too beautiful. Glossy black, slim straps, sharp stiletto points that looked more like needles than shoes. My palms sweated. "Isabella, what's in them?" I whispered. She smiled. A slow, chilling smile. "Smart boy," she said. "Maybe not obedient, but smart." She crouched down and tapped a fingernail on the sole of one heel. "Inside these," she said softly, "is a tiny sensor." My stomach dropped. "A sensor?" She nodded. "It tracks pressure, weight, balance. And if the pressure is wrong," she paused, letting the silence suffocate me, "it sends a signal." The man spoke for the first time since returning. "A signal to us." My throat tightened painfully. "A signal for what?" His eyes glinted. "To increase the punishment." I felt faint. I can't walk in heels," I stammered. "You know I can't. I'll fall." "If you fall," Isabella said, rising slowly to her feet, "the device tightens." Device. I echoed the word like it didn't belong in the English language. She tapped the necklace around my neck. The necklace. The one she forced me to put on. It wasn't jewelry at all. "This," she said, letting her fingers brush the metal, tightens every time the heels detect imbalance. So if you stumble, it tightens a little. If you fall, it tightens a lot. I couldn't breathe. You're choking me with a necklace? No. She smiled gently. Only if you disobey. I stared at her, betrayed in a way I didn't have words for. Why are you doing this to me? I whispered. She stepped closer and placed her hand on my cheek. Because you had a secret life, she said softly. A life you hid from me. A life you kept in the dark. I was scared. I shouted, voice breaking. I thought you'd leave me. The man behind her scoffed. Isabella didn't react. Instead, she leaned in so close her lips nearly touched mine. Leave you? She whispered. Oh baby. Leaving you was never the plan. She pulled back. Transforming you was. The room spun. Transforming? Not as a punishment. Not as a test. But as a goal. A plan she'd been building silently. For how long? I looked at the heels again. They weren't just shoes. They were traps. Put them on, Isabella repeated, her voice firm again. Or he will put them on you. The man stepped forward slowly, threateningly. I panicked. No, I'll do it. Don't touch me, I'll do it. My hands shook violently as I picked up the first heel. I slipped my foot inside. The strap clicked shut around my ankle. A faint vibration pulsed through the necklace. The sensor had connected. I swallowed hard. Then the second heel. Another faint vibration. My knees trembled so badly I thought I'd collapse right there. Isabella stepped back to admire me. You look perfect, she said. Perfect. I felt like an animal in a trap. She crossed her arms. Now, she said, you're going to walk. My chest seized. From here, she pointed to the far wall, to there. The distance was small. 6 steps? 7? But in heels. With the necklace tightening if I messed up. It felt like a mile made of broken glass. My first step wobbled violently. The necklace tightened, just a pinch. Isabella smiled. Good. Again. Second step. Shaky. The necklace buzzed with warning. I whimpered. The man chuckled. Careful, princess, he said. I gripped the air like it would hold me up. Third step. My ankle twisted slightly. The necklace tightened, harder. I gasped. Tears filled my eyes. Isabella, please, stop this, please, I can't. You can, she said simply. And you will. Fourth step. I almost lost balance, but caught myself on the wall. Both of them watched silently. Even breathing felt dangerous. Fifth step. The heel slid slightly on the floor. The necklace tightened so sharply I cried out. Isabella sighed. You're making this harder than it needs to be. I'm trying. I sobbed. I'm trying, please, please. 6 steps left, she said. I stared at the floor. Tears fell on the hardwood. I stepped again. Slow. Shaking. Barely balanced. I reached the wall. I pressed my hand against it, gasping for air. I had done it. I survived. But when I turned around, Isabella wasn't smiling. She was smirking. You think that was the test, she said. My heart stopped. What do you mean? She pointed to the hallway doorway. And then, a silhouette stepped into view. A woman. Familiar. Too familiar. Isabella said softly. The real test is walking in those heels. In front of her. I froze. My blood turned to ice. Because the woman stepping forward was my mother. I forgot how to breathe. My mother stepped fully into the light. Her eyes widened. Not in disgust. Not in shock. But in understanding. Understanding? My chest tightened. No. This couldn't be happening. Mom. I whispered, voice cracking. What are you doing here? She looked at me slowly. From the heels. To the pink dress. To the trembling necklace shining at my throat. She didn't look angry. She didn't look confused. She looked resigned. Like she already knew. Isabella folded her arms, watching both of us with a calm, victorious expression. My mother sighed softly. I told Isabella this would happen, she said. My knees buckled. You told her? She nodded. Her voice was oddly gentle, like she was delivering a long-delayed truth. I've always known, she said, about your secret. My throat closed. This isn't what it looks like. It's exactly what it looks like, she replied, stepping closer. You've been hiding from me since you were 13. 13. The air vanished from the room. That day, she continued, I came home early. You don't remember hearing me. You were in my room, wearing my clothes. I froze. Ice shot through my veins. I thought you never saw. My voice trembled. I thought I locked the door. You did, she sighed. But you forgot the balcony window. I watched through the curtain. I didn't say a word. My vision blurred. Mom. She looked at Isabella. You were right, she said quietly. He was never going to admit it on his own. Admission? Admit what? My panic sharpened into fear so deep I couldn't hide it. What are you talking about? I asked, voice shaking. You make it sound like you planned this. My mother's expression tightened, regret mixed with determination. Isabella stepped beside her. We did, Isabella said. For months. I stared at them both, dizzy. You planned to humiliate me? No, Isabella corrected softly. We planned to free you. Free me. I choked. By forcing me into heels, choking me, trapping me? My mother stepped closer until she was inches from me. Her eyes glistened. This isn't punishment, she said. This is honesty. Honesty? The room spun violently. My mother touched the necklace gently, and it loosened slightly. Sweetheart, she whispered. You were never meant to be a boy. Something shattered inside me. I don't understand, I whispered. Tears finally spilling. I don't understand what you want from me. She looked at Isabella. And Isabella answered. We want you to stop running. My voice broke. I wasn't running. Yes, my mother said softly. You've been running your entire life. I shook my head. No. Please. Stop. You're forcing me. We're helping you, Isabella said. No, you're breaking me. I shouted. Isabella's eyes cooled. You were already broken, she whispered. We're just putting you in the shape you always wanted. My heart dropped. My mother walked around me, examining me like a seamstress. Her voice softened again. Look at you, she said. In that dress. In those heels. Does this feel wrong? Yes. I cried. It feels wrong because you're watching. Because you trapped me. She tilted her head. Then why aren't you taking it off? I froze. My hands hovered over the straps. Frozen. I couldn't move. I didn't know why. My body refused. Isabella stepped closer, whispering. Because it doesn't feel wrong. It feels real. I trembled. No. No. This wasn't me. This wasn't my choice. This wasn't. My mother sat on the edge of the bed. Walk to me, she said gently. I shook my head violently. No, I can't, not in front of you. She smiled sadly. You already did. Isabella nodded toward the door. You walked in those heels in front of a man who terrifies you, she said. But not in front of the woman who raised you. My chest twisted. My legs trembled. I took a step. The necklace buzzed softly. I took another. And another. My mother opened her arms. Not for a hug. But for a judgment. I stopped in front of her. My breath shook violently. Her eyes softened. You look beautiful, she whispered. I swallowed hard. So, what now? Isabella stepped forward. The real punishment, she said, begins now. Before I could react, My mother reached behind me and unclipped the back of the dress. The straps fell off my shoulders. The dress slid toward the floor. I gasped, and Isabella whispered the most terrifying line yet. "We're not punishing the boy anymore. We're shaping the girl." I couldn't breathe. For a second, I swear the entire house went silent. So silent I could hear the blood rushing through my veins, pounding like drums inside my head. Isabella's footsteps echoed behind the door, slow, heavy, deliberate. She wasn't just coming in. She was hunting. My reflection stared back at me in the mirror, fake eyelashes trembling, lipstick smudged from panic, my wig slightly tilted. The silky red dress clung to my body like it had fused with my skin. I couldn't take it off. My hands were shaking too badly. And the worst part? I wasn't even trying to take it off anymore. I was frozen. Because a sickening, terrifying realization had hit me. A part of me didn't want to stop being her doll. No. No, focus. Snap out of it. I grabbed the wig's edge, but before I could rip it off, the bedroom door slammed open. I jumped, heart in my throat. Isabella walked in like a queen returning to her throne, confident, calm, terrifyingly composed. Her eyes traveled from my trembling heels to the trembling curve of my waist, and finally to my terrified face. She smiled. A slow, cruel smile. "I told you, sweetheart," she whispered, closing the door behind her, "I always finish what I start." I stepped back. Isabella, please. I can explain." "Oh, I know," she said, cutting me off. "You're scared. Confused. Torn between who you were and who you're becoming." She circled me like a predator circling prey. "And the best part," she whispered into my ear, "you're still lying to yourself." My knees nearly buckled. "Take that dress off right now," she commanded. My breath caught. Tears pooled in my eyes. This was it, the destruction, the humiliation, the final strike. I reached for the zipper with trembling fingers. Isabella's hand shot out, grabbing my wrist. I froze. She leaned close, lips brushing my cheek. "Don't you dare." I blinked, stunned. What? Her grip tightened. "You're not taking it off. Not anymore." My mind flatlined. "What do you mean?" I whispered. She stepped in front of me, her eyes burning with something wild. Anger? Desire? Power? I couldn't tell. "You think dressing up like this was just a game? A punishment?" Her voice dropped. "No, sweetheart. It was a test." My heart stopped. "A test to see," she said slowly, "if you could handle the truth." My voice cracked. "What truth?" Isabella smirked, lifted my chin with one finger, and forced me to look at myself in the mirror. Both of us. Standing side by side. Two silhouettes. One woman. One boy trying to look like one. Except, the longer I stared, the less boy I saw. "I've watched you," Isabella whispered. "I've seen how your eyes soften when you look at yourself. How your lips part. How your breath catches." She brushed a strand of the wig behind my ear, her touch sending a shiver straight down my spine. "You're not fighting the transformation," she breathed, "you're craving it." "I know, Isabella, I'm not." "Sweetheart," she said, tilting my face up again, "your body tells the truth your mouth won't." I swallowed hard. She wasn't wrong. And that terrified me more than anything. "But why?" I asked, voice breaking. "Why are you doing this to me?" Her expression shifted, softer now, almost vulnerable. "Almost. Because you need someone strong enough to push you," she said. "And I'm the only one who can." My chest tightened. She continued, "You spent your whole life pretending, hiding, running. But I see the real you. And I won't let you bury her again." Her. She said her. My entire world tilted. "I'm not," I started, but she pressed a finger to my lips. "Don't lie. Not here. Not now." Tears spilled. I looked in the mirror again. Really looked. The fluttery lashes. The glossy lips. The dress-hugging curves I didn't know I had. The trembling. The softness. The fragility. And beneath all the fear, there was something else. Something warm. Something electric. Something dangerously close to acceptance. I covered my face with both hands. I'm scared. Isabella pulled my hands down gently. Good, she whispered. Because fear means you're standing on the edge of something big. My breath hitched. She cupped my cheeks. Her thumbs wiped the tears. Don't run, she whispered. Not from this. Not from me. I swallowed. My voice came out barely audible. What happens now? She smiled, slow, confident, victorious. Now, Isabella said, taking my hand and guiding it to the hem of the dress. You stop pretending. My lips parted. Pretending what? That you don't love this. My heart exploded in my chest. She leaned close, her breath warm on my neck. And the best part, sweetheart? My entire body shivered. This isn't the end. She paused, letting the silence stretch until it snapped like a wire. This is only the beginning. My knees nearly gave out. Her hand slid down my arm, fingers intertwining with mine. Welcome, she whispered, to your new life. Just when I thought I understood what Isabella wanted from me, she revealed a secret of her own. A secret that changed everything. My fingers were still intertwined with Isabella's when she suddenly pulled away, her expression shifting into something I'd never seen before. Darker, sharper, almost unstable. The temperature in the room dropped. She paced slowly in front of me, heels clicking like a countdown. I didn't want to tell you this yet, she said softly, but you're ready. Ready for what? My heart thudded painfully. Isabella, what secret? She stopped, turned, looked directly into my eyes, and smiled a smile that didn't reach her eyes. The reason I chose you. My stomach twisted. Chose me, for what? She stepped closer until our faces were inches apart. For this, she whispered, pulling lightly at the strap of my dress. For all of this. I shook my head. I don't understand. You think this happened by accident? She said. You think I just decided one day to turn you into my perfect girl? She scoffed. No, sweetheart. I planned this long before you ever stepped foot in my house. My knees weakened. I grabbed the edge of the dresser to steady myself. Planned? I choked out. You planned to transform me? She tilted her head, studying me like a scientist examining a specimen. I saw the way you looked at things, she said. At colors. At clothes. At people. The softness in your eyes. The tension in your shoulders. That ache of someone who doesn't fit into the skin they were born with. I froze. No one had ever seen that. Not even me. Not clearly. Not consciously. But that's not the real reason, she added. My breath hitched again. Then what is? She moved behind me, her hands sliding around my waist. Slow, intimate, possessive. Because, she whispered into my ear, you weren't the first. A chill stabbed my spine. What do you mean? She rested her chin on my shoulder, watching my reflection in the mirror. You're not the first boy I've transformed. My blood turned to ice. She said it casually, like she was talking about baking cookies, not reshaping someone's identity. I've done this before, she continued. More than once. My throat dried. Where are they now? A wicked smile curved her lips. Living their best lives. That's not an answer, I whispered. She giggled softly. It wasn't meant to be. My breath stuttered. How many? I asked, my voice small, fragile. She brushed her fingers over my collarbone. Enough to know what I'm doing. Her eyes locked onto mine in the mirror. And enough to know that you are my masterpiece. My entire body went rigid. Masterpiece. Like she was sculpting me. Like she owned me. I backed away from her, heart slamming against my ribs. This is crazy, Isabella. You can't just. She grabbed my wrist. Hard. It's not crazy if it's who you were meant to be. I tugged my arm. Let go. Her grip tightened. No. Tears burned in my eyes. "You think you're scared now?" she whispered. "Wait until you finally admit the truth." She pulled me close, forcing me to face the mirror again. "That dress isn't your costume," she murmured. "It's your reflection." "No," I whispered. "Yes." She slid a hand down my waist. I flinched. She didn't stop. "Look at you," she breathed. "Look how easily your body remembers. Look how naturally you move. Look at your eyes, soft, delicate, desperate to be seen." I shook my head, shaking. "Isabella, please." "You're not fighting me," she said quietly. "You're fighting yourself." A sudden, heavy silence filled the room. Then she stepped back. Completely. My breath caught. I hadn't expected that. She walked to the closet, opened it slowly, and pulled out a box, long black, with a silver ribbon tied around it. She turned, holding it like a gift. "This," she said, "was supposed to be for the final stage." Final stage. My legs went numb. "Isabella, what's inside the box?" She lifted the lid. My heart nearly exploded. Inside was a stunning, shimmering gown, soft champagne gold, delicate embroidery, breathtakingly feminine. It looked expensive, rare, almost ceremonial. But that wasn't what terrified me. What terrified me was the note sitting on top. A handwritten message in elegant black ink. For her. I felt my soul leave my body. "No," I whispered. "No, that can't be for me." Her eyes softened, too softly. "It is." I stumbled back. "Isabella, I can't." "You can," she said. "And you will." She walked toward me slowly, holding the gown like a priest carrying a sacred offering. "Tonight," she whispered, "you take your final step." I shook my head violently. "I'm not ready, please, Isabella, stop." Her expression hardened. "You are ready." "No. You are ready." The room spun. My chest tightened until I could barely breathe. The last thing I heard before everything went black was Isabella's voice, quiet and terrifyingly calm. "Don't worry, sweetheart. When you wake up, you won't have anything left to be afraid of." When I opened my eyes, the world felt different. And so did I. Because Isabella wasn't done with me. Not even close. The first thing I felt was softness. Not the softness of a pillow. Not a blanket. Something else. Something strange. My eyelids fluttered open, heavy and slow, and the room came into focus. Dim, warm, blurry at the edges like I was waking from anesthesia. For a moment, I didn't know where I was. Then I saw the walls. The vanity mirror. The golden lighting. Isabella's dressing room. My breath caught in my throat. I tried to sit up. But something pulled at my waist. Something tightened at my chest. Something brushed my legs. Fabric. Not just any fabric. A gown. The gown. That shimmering champagne dress she had pulled from the black box. It was on me. My heart stopped beating. "No, no, no," I gasped, gripping the sheets with trembling fingers. The embroidery sparkled against my skin. The neckline hugged my collarbones. The skirt flowed to my knees like melted gold. This wasn't a dream. This wasn't an illusion. I was wearing it. My pulse exploded. "Isabella." I shouted, more like a desperate cry. "Isabella, what did you do?" The door opened with terrifying calm. She stepped in, hair perfectly tied, eyes glowing with a satisfaction that chilled me to my bones. "You're awake." What did you do to me?" My voice cracked. "Why am I wearing this?" She slowly walked toward me, her heels clicking in soft, measured steps. "I dressed you," she said simply. "You fainted. I finished what you couldn't." I pushed myself back against the headboard, shaking. "Isabella, this is too much. You can't force me." She raised one finger. "Stop." And somehow that one word froze me. "You think I forced you?" "You did." I yelled. "You put me in this thing. You drugged me or something." She sighed like she was disappointed. Sweetheart, your body wasn't resisting. She touched my cheek gently. You relaxed into every strap, every zip, every clasp. I slapped her hand away, breathing fast. Stop lying. But my heartbeat, my breathing, my trembling fingers, they weren't telling me she was lying. They were telling me I was terrified because she was telling the truth. She leaned close, voice dropping to a whisper. You think I don't know the difference between someone fighting me and someone giving in? I swallowed hard. I didn't give in, I whispered. She smirked. Look at yourself. I refused. Look. Her voice sharpened. Against my will, my eyes drifted toward the full-length mirror at the side of the room. And my stomach twisted. The gown fit me perfectly. Too perfectly. Like it had been made for me, stitched to my shape, my height, my softness. My hair was brushed and styled. My lips tinted with a soft glow. My eyelashes longer. Isabella had done everything. My voice cracked. Why would you do this? She tilted her head, her expression shifting to something unsettling, affection laced with obsession. Because this is who you are, she whispered. And now you can finally see it. I shook my head violently. No, it's not. It's not. She stepped closer. Yes, she breathed. It is. Suddenly she grabbed my chin, not harshly, but firmly enough to stop me from looking away. You think I want to hurt you? She whispered. I'm saving you. My heart pounded. Saving me from what? She leaned closer, her breath warm on my ear. From the life that was killing you. A chill shot down my spine. What are you talking about? I whispered. She walked to the drawer, pulled out a folder, and tossed it onto the bed. Photos. My photos. Years old. Months old. Recent. Me looking lost. Me staring at clothes the way no one noticed. Me in a reflection, holding something feminine. Me trying something on when I thought I was alone. My entire secret history laid out like evidence. I've been watching you, she said. Learning you. Understanding you. My breath stopped. You're lying, I whispered. She shook her head. I didn't have to spy. You showed me everything the first week we met. My chest tightened painfully. You saw a confused boy, she said, stepping close again, who didn't know he was supposed to be something else. No, I breathed. Please don't do this. She cupped my cheeks, her voice trembling with something dangerously close to love. You're not a punishment, sweetheart. Her thumb brushed against my lips. You're a project. My stomach dropped. And I always finish my projects. My blood ran cold. She moved behind me and zipped the gown the final inch. A lock. A seal. A trap. You're beautiful, she whispered. I felt sick. Isabella. I can't do this. My voice cracked and broke. Please. Let me take it off. I'll talk, I'll listen, just don't make me do this. She walked to the door. And locked it. You're not taking anything off tonight, she said quietly. My entire body froze. What do you mean? She smiled softly. Tonight is the ceremony. Ceremony. The word punched through my chest. What ceremony? What are you talking about? She opened a drawer and lifted the final piece. A pair of sparkling heels. Delicate. Tall. Glittering. And terrifying. You will walk, she said, as her. I shook uncontrollably. As who? She stepped closer, heels dangling from her fingers. As the girl you were meant to be. I covered my face with trembling hands. This is insane, Isabella. Please, don't do this. She leaned close and whispered. Sweetheart, we're past the point of turning back. Because when the door opened again, I wasn't alone anymore. And the person standing there knew my real name, and my new one. The door creaked open slowly. I froze. My breath stopped. Isabella stepped aside. And someone else entered the room. At first, I couldn't see the face, only the silhouette. Tall. Confident. Moving with purpose. My heart hammered so loud I could barely hear myself think. Then the figure stepped into the golden light. And my world shattered. "Hello," the person said softly. I felt my knees weaken. Because I knew that voice. Kate. I whispered. My sister. The one person I never wanted, never imagined, would see me like this. Dressed in a shimmering gown. Makeup perfectly done. Hair brushed into soft waves. A delicate necklace around my throat. A girl. A version of myself I wasn't prepared for anyone to see. Especially her. She stared at me. Not with shock. But with something more terrifying. Recognition. Like she had been waiting for this moment. For me. "It suits you," Kate said quietly. I blinked rapidly, shaking. What? What are you doing here? Isabella, why, what is happening? Isabella didn't respond. She simply closed the door behind Kate, sealing us inside. Kate stepped forward, her eyes soft but her posture unyielding. "Do you know why I'm here?" she asked. "No," I whispered. "Please. Someone tell me what's going on." Kate took a slow breath. "You always hid things from me," she said gently. "But I knew. I always knew." "Knew what?" I cried, my voice breaking. That I wear clothes? That I pretend? That you're not pretending," she said. The floor seemed to tilt under my feet. Kate's voice softened. "You've been carrying this alone your whole life. And I couldn't watch you do it anymore." Tears filled my eyes. "Stop. Please. Stop saying that. You don't know anything about me." Her expression didn't change. Not even a flicker. "Then tell me," she said quietly. "What part of you is lying right now? Your words? Or your reflection?" My breath hitched so hard it hurt. "Kate, I didn't choose this." She stepped close enough that I could feel her warmth. "No," she whispered. "But you didn't run either." I shook my head violently. I fainted. Isabella dressed me. This isn't. "Your heartbeat," she said, touching 2 fingers to my wrist. "Isn't scared of the dress." I tore my hand away, trembling. "You're both insane, both of you, just let me go." Kate swallowed, her voice breaking for the first time. "I tried," she whispered. "I tried for years. I tried pretending I didn't see the signs. I tried ignoring it. I tried protecting you from yourself. But you're not a little boy anymore. You don't need hiding." She stepped aside. "You need honesty." Isabella placed something in my hands. A mirror. Small, silver-framed. "Look," she whispered. I didn't want to. But I did. Slowly. The reflection stared back at me. A girl. Soft. Terrified. Beautiful. Lost. Found. Someone who wasn't supposed to exist. Someone who had always existed. My voice trembled. "That's not me." Kate's voice cracked. "Yes, it is." I closed my eyes. "No. Yes. It's not. It is." Something inside me snapped. "I'm not her," I whispered, my voice breaking. "I'm not your project, Isabella. And I'm not your secret, Kate. I'm just." I looked at the mirror again. Confused. Isabella's voice softened. "Then let us help you." "No." I shouted. "No more help. No more control. No more secrets." My chest heaved. "I want my life back." Kate's expression changed. Not shocked. Not hurt. But resigned. "You can have it back," she said quietly. I froze. Isabella turned sharply toward her. "Kate." "No," Kate said, raising a hand. "If he wants to walk away, we let him." I stared at her, stunned. Kate swallowed hard. "There's one condition." My stomach twisted. "What condition?" She stepped closer, looking straight into my eyes. "You walk out of this room exactly as you are." I blinked. "What?" She pointed to the gown. The heels. The hair. The makeup. The everything. No changing. No hiding. No stripping it off. You walk out into the world exactly as you look now. My blood froze. If you can do that, Kate said softly, you can go. I shook my head. That's not fair. Neither is lying to yourself forever, she whispered. My hands trembled violently. I'm giving you a choice, Kate said. For the first time. A real one. Silence crushed the room. One step in heels. One breath in a gown. One moment of courage or fear. And everything would change. Forever. My heart pounded so hard it hurt. Choose, Kate whispered. Behind her, Isabella watched me silently. Waiting. Hoping. Holding her breath. I stood there, half boy, half girl, half truth, half denial, feeling the weight of a lifetime pressing onto my shoulders. My mouth opened. My heart screamed. My mind fractured. And I finally whispered, I choose. Cut to black.